Haha, the stairs saved me. I wonder when the first dungeon will be. If you've watched the patch content playthroughs or the Endwalker playthrough, I feel like that's always on my mind. When's that first dungeon gonna be? When do I get to have my first fun adventure time? This is all fun adventure time, but you know. And yes, there's that Valagarmanda imagery. That's very cool. Oh, that's really cool. The green and stuff on it. This structure also reminds me a bit of the... Oh, where is it? Is it the Kikirn that have it? There's that structure that's almost like a dual pyramid. You know what I'm talking about? In one of the Stormblood zones. That's really interesting. And some of this kind of the similar sort of diamond shape of this is really cool, but obviously on a huge scale that isn't like ruins. It's still very much inhabited. And I think that that particular location was also a religious site of some sort, if I'm remembering. Interesting. I wonder what the lore of that area is, or if that might have anything to do with giants. It isn't as big as this one, but it's still quite large. I have to look that up. I'm curious now. So this was originally made by the giants. You can tell by a lot of that scale. But oh, I love all the different colors and details. And it looks like there's a jump puzzle. People are doing a jump puzzle on it. Can you go all the way to the top? Oh, that's gonna eat so many hours of my life. Okay. We'll worry about that a different day. Past this gate lies Valak Shunsa. While the Dawn Servant is a forgiving man, I suggest you conduct yourself with the utmost respect. I will attempt my best to do so. Ooh, the water in here too? And the plants? Pretty. Even as the head of reason takes his rest, the wing of reflection continues to work tirelessly for the sake of Tuliolal. Those are his two heads, I think. Each has like a different title. And we've seen in some of the trailers and things that at times one has like a veil over their face. So I wonder if that's them taking their rest. Possibly like they trade off when they sleep so that their like leadership is present 24/7, like at all times, which would be interesting. Oh, I really love how they've done these kind of elevated gardens. I hope we can see even more like this. How cool is that? Let's get up close. Ah, it's so big! We're gonna tune. This is like a scale that I've always wanted to see 14 try to tackle with its environments. And the fact that you can climb on this is awesome because like Ishgard has huge scale, but the vast majority of it is just like visual stuff that you can kind of see as part of the set piece. This feels much more like the graphical update and other things have enabled them to actually create a more interactable large-scale city like this. And I was just noticing as we came in, thinking about the graphical update, this sheen on these tiles with that kind of matte glaze. Oh, that's so good. We wouldn't have had that before for sure. And that kind of faint metallic beaten metal sort of look. Pretty, 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 pretty. It's huge. There's everybody. Now, of course, the Dawntrail, they did introduce the ability to filter out the amount of people that you see surrounding quest givers. I don't have that turned on myself because I kind of like seeing everybody being excited about the expansion, but it definitely helps with immersion. So I love that they put that in this go around. I think that's a really helpful tool. The food is amazing. A passing mammal jar let us try a fruit called cherimoya, and it was just sublime. We saw a two-headed mammal jar on our way here. Another claimant in the right of succession, according to Erenville. There are so many narrow, winding streets, but even if you get lost, all you have to do is keep heading up, and you'll arrive at the palace eventually. Oh, here's Erenville! Do you have a better feel for this city now? Let's talk to Wuk Lamat. You made it. Good. Then we're all here. I'm still hungry enough to eat a whole roasted colibri, but the contest won't wait for us forever. What did we get item-wise? Mountain Chromite. Mountain Chromite. A reinforced chest with impressive metallic filigree that suggests a valuable piece of attire lies within. 645? Okay, yeah, we're still good, so I'm gonna hold off on using that. I'll probably use some of these mountain chrondites on, or excuse me, chromites on some of my other classes that could use some additional gear. Upon speaking to Erinville, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Okay, let's get some water. I've acquainted the twins with the city as best I could in a short time. Their unbridled enthusiasm made it rather difficult. Invariably, something would catch their eye, spurring them to run down an alley to investigate. It was like herding a pair of unruly squirrels. I understand too well. Charlene had the same effect on me. Right then. Now it's time we saw the inside of the palace. Papa will want to know I'm home and to meet the allies I've chosen. Given how impulsive he is, though, there's no telling what we might be in for. Quest accepted. Meet Dad. Meet Papa. Oh no, he's already been in here bonding up a storm. Oh, the shiny parts on their armor look so good.
Estinian? When did he get here?
More to the point, why is he here?
Oh, you know this man?
Yes, we know that Scrungle man. Yes, we do.
Whenever my father spots a promising opponent, he invites them to sun perch to duel. Pressing duties or no, he can't resist a good fight.
So the one Estinian is crossing blades with.
Yep, that's Daddy. Yeah, we're like, sign us up for a duel.
That will do, Spearman. I will receive my darling daughter.
Oh, look at him. He looks so much better. With like the skin textures and stuff.
You are the strongest I fought in many a moon, if not longer. It is the privilege of a life long lived to face such a formidable soul.
Oh, I like him already. I hope he doesn't die.
If it's formidable you want, then look no further than that woman there.
Estinian's like, I'm nothing. But them? Don't let their graphically updated, slightly rounder, less androgynous face fool you.
I see you, warrior.
We had no idea you meant to visit Tural.
Yeah, visit.
I've
That's
seen
what's
it rise east.
happening.
This time I chose west.
And thus did our itinerant dragoon make his travel plans.
Oh, that's true. I guess technically Estinian isn't with either group. He just decided at random to go to the west. I recall. Yes, yes, yes.
You witnessed our bout. If you thought he was fearsome, that was with one head dozing.
I'm not sure I understand.
So he does pull that thing down when one's sleeping.
But the head of reason, wiser of the two, sleeps more and more these days. As I understand it, the veil helps with the restoration of his magical energies.
Enough about me, Lamati. I want to hear of your adventures.
Lamachi.
Like an
Eternal
affectionate.
endearment.
Yeah.
That's what my family
Lamat, Lamati. Aw, that's cute. Honestly, they have captured me with all the like world building and the lore and the culture here. I just can't wait to keep learning more. The sparkle glitter gold behind him. Oh,
When last did we see you in the palace? Greetings, Alanesh.
It's Erenville now, Dawn Servant.
Elenesh. As we all look at him like, excuse, what's your actual name?
I took the name while abroad, and have since grown accustomed to it.
Erenville, then. And these others? I assume are Lamati's recruited allies. Ha! All tempered steel. Yet as much as I'd enjoy testing their metal, the hour of the right is at hand. I will summon the other claimants at once.
Then I shall leave you to it.
I love the vocal talent they brought in for this one too.
Good fortune,
Some really good
my
voice
friends.
actors. Insidious just like, oh, plot's happening. Bye. I'm gonna go zip some drinks on the beach and eat some squid. These are our claimants? Oh no, they're coming in, I see. There's the Stinkmeister himself. This guy, I like him. He good. I like his whole outfit.
The claimants are assembled. The first promise, Zerolja.
So it's one of her brothers. The one who leads the guard that we saw, right?
The second promise, Kona.
The nerdy brother. Kona.
The third promise, Wuk Lamat.
Queen, wife, majestic. And this guy.
The chosen of Mamuk, Gulool Ja Ja. You four will compete in the right of succession, the outcome of which will decide who takes my place as Dawn Servant. I am not the man I once was. My wiser half sleeps the days away, and it is time I yield my position.
I understand he is very old and he's accomplished a lot. But why do I also feel like maybe he's like storing up those magical energies for some reason, or that like something else is going on, you know?
But mine is a torch that has never been passed. Tuliyola is young, and so I look to the always for inspiration. The right of succession, the means by which the autarch of Mamuk was chosen. Only the two-headed were deemed fit for this contest. But the Tuliyola I built is a nation of many peoples. Our leader needn't have two heads, nor be a Mamulja at all.
True. That's right. He's not happy about it.
So
But
I
he doesn't
gave
have
the
about
right
progress.
of claimant, not only to the son I sired, but to my adopted children as well. Yet the
But
opportunity
Kulja
to
must be his
rule was
son,
still
like
not
direct son,
equal.
right? I guess offspring. I should say.
That is why a recent tournament offered a place in the contest as the winning prize.
Oh!
Now you have us to compete against.
Ill-mannered and spits everywhere. They're really leaning into it.
Though it seems the one-head was already too afraid to face us in the tournament.
Oh no, it's not Gulool Ja Ja. What was it? What is it? We'll find out in a second here. I'm sure it's going to show us.
Our brother was in Shock Tural leading the Landsguard on a campaign to eradicate a Tural Vidral.
Oh. Tural Vidral seemed to be like, they don't seem to live peacefully here, or that people hunt them or destroy them.
Anyone with sense will know he was too busy for games.
Now for the part you've been waiting to hear. The nature of the contest itself. To triumph in the right of succession, and thereby claim our nation's throne, you must travel the lands of Tural and find the City of Gold.
I wondered.
If I may, Father.
Speak, Kona.
The Golden City is an ancient Turali legend, but after so many failed attempts to find it, the story has become more fairy tale than fact.
Why do I feel like the adventurer that like that vanished and went missing, that they don't know if he was lost at sea or what? Why do I feel like he was actually, like I said, uploaded into the Matrix or something of whatever the Golden City is, or...
If you would charge us with such a quest, are we then to assume you have proof of the city's existence?
Oh, he knows something.
I offer us proof, my unbroken word, for I have seen it with my own 4 eyes.
Yeah, that's right, it's real.
The city's real. All those years.
Yeah, Aaronville, you want to believe in it.
This was before the founding of Tural. I traveled the lands of Tural with my companions, and we ended our journey at the gates to the Golden City. I mean to have you do the same, but in order to achieve victory proper, you'll need to break the seal I put in place. Bring them.
The seal I put in place? Could it also be that maybe his magic head is slumbering because it's expending a ton of energy, like keeping something contained or maintaining some kind of magic, or... Oh, some kind of item. Oh, they're little thumb instruments. No, they're not. I'm wrong. For a second, it looked like they were holding up that it was going to be like little... No, but it is more art that tells pieces of stories. Those are the stories from the ones that we saw.
The Tulishola saga.
Yeah, the saga.
You
get to, like,
will
retrace.
the path
Yeah.
I walked to unite our peoples step by step. Along the way, 7 chosen electors will be waiting to measure your worth. Earn their keystones by performing the feats they ask of you. Once you've fitted each of the 7 tablets with the keystone, you'll have the key to unlock the seal on the Golden City's gates.
So maybe it won't be just like a part 1, part 2. Maybe it will be an actual like beginning to end kind of journey that's all framed within this and leads to that golden city.
So the contest is in stages, none of which can be skipped by rushing to the ultimate objective.
Which honestly I like better. I like, not that it couldn't have worked the other way, but I like the idea of it being one big narrative.
Exactly. Exciting, isn't it?
Martial tournaments, hunting festivals, and now this? You do so love your contests, Papa.
Were I a few years younger, I would have joined in myself, giving you a proper challenge. You may think the ride is tedious or nonsensical, or both, but I am yielding our nation's throne. Let me have this final indulgence.
A waste of time. Just name Gulool Ja Ja successor and be done with it.
I like how anytime Gulool Ja Ja opens his mouth, he just like, his eyebrows just like angry time.
I'll be watching your progress with great interest. And Clement, remember to collect your tablets before you leave.
I wonder if there's only one gem at each of the locations, or if it's something like you can, whoever, I would imagine it's whoever can collect all of them first, but, and that there are like multiples. Kral's just like, do you know my grandpa?
You are one of Lamat's allies. Speak freely.
I am Kryl Baldessian, representative of the students of Baldessian. My name is perhaps familiar to you?
Would you recognize the earring?
Ah.
It would seem you sent this letter to my orders some years ago. The ink has since faded and much of the writing is illegible. Even so, we managed to determine the essence of it. A request to investigate the Golden City, addressed to my grandfather, Galuf. Included with the correspondence was this earring. A fairy tale and a piece of jewelry were enough to convince my grandfather to sail halfway across the world. So there is surely some greater mystery at work here. On behalf of the students, I've come to seek clarification on the matter. Have you any knowledge you might share with me?
On behalf of my organization, tell me what's up, old man. What happened?
No, not at this time.
He's just like, nah. Nah, I don't think I will.
Tasked the claimants with finding the Golden City. To fulfill your request would afford one of them an unfair advantage in the rights of succession.
Oh, but look at how sad you made
But
her.
once the contest is decided, I plan to entrust the entire truth to my successor. If you want to hear it, then you had best help Lamachi win.
Very well, Dawn Servant. On my honor as a student of Baldessian, I will find your Golden City.
I love
Thank
it.
you for hearing my petition.
I was even noticing how defined the threading is on the edge of her cloak. There really are so many really nice little details that the graphics update makes pop in a way that they didn't previously. It's so nice to see.
How about that? She's grown into a remarkable young woman. You should be proud, Galuf.
Oh, I wonder if Galuf, like, I mean, he must have. Otherwise, he wouldn't know him, or wouldn't know about her, right? Like, Galuf must have talked about her and, you know, raising her. Ooh, look at the peoples! Oh, that's so nice! Oh, I love a big crowd scene! It feels way more exciting.
Too late to change your mind now, I suppose. But are you sure you wish to be part of this?
Yeah, sign me up. What? What do you mean?
Our third promise is not wont to take no for an answer. Though you may have agreed to help, I worry that you were swept up in her relentless enthusiasm.
Oh, Aaron, it's okay. You've only known me for like one expansion, and we didn't have like a lot of direct action, you know, that we engaged in together. So like, no. You're all gonna be like if you don't get caught up in Arden's relentless enthusiasm.
Or perhaps you've been lured by the glory of the Golden City.
And impishness and nonsense.
This contest for the throne will place you and yours at the heart of political turmoil. If you are second-guessing your decision, tell me now. This may be my last chance to help you withdraw.
Yeah, he's trying to look out for us, but like...
Life is a series of journeys, my friend. And there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another.
I want to see where this journey ends.
So you are committed to your path? I will speak no more of it then. As for my own involvement, I can no longer conduct myself as a mere guide, I think. Not after the Dawn Servant's revelation.
Yeah, Aaronville, you gonna actually help? Now that you know that the Golden City is up for grabs? Or are you gonna try and compete? No, I think he's gonna support somebody. You would hope, Wuk Lamat, but like, maybe they'll throw a curveball.
It's Tural Ja!
It must have been hard as Tural Ja.
Mean. Make no mistake, there goes Tuliola's mightiest warrior.
To be one-headed, but like the blood son of such a prolific
Our village needs aid.
two-headed
The cold weather
Mamutja.
stunts our crops, and the children of our village go hungry.
This is really, really bad timing, my
Once you
man.
ascend the throne, I
Oh, okay,
beg of you,
okay.
grant my people new lands, please.
Why do I feel like we're gonna end up really, really loving Tural Ja, and then he's gonna get killed by Gulool Ja Ja. Right, because he has two heads, right? The Ja must like indicate maybe the situation with what's happening with your heads. Like, why do I feel like he's gonna get killed by Gulool Ja Ja, and then it's gonna be like the driving force that Wuk Lamat like needs to really turn her resolve into like pure confidence and the will to see it through. That'd be sad.
Take heart, tiller of the soil. The Resilion's son, blood heir to the Dawn Servant, has heard your pleas.
He's just got his little announcer.
Tural Ja, the palaceer. As he was so careful to remind the crowd, Tural Ja is indeed the natural child of Gulool Ja Ja.
And Resilient Son, is that another title, like the first promise?
What does
After a
that
fashion,
mean?
common knowledge has it that two-headed Mamulja cannot sire children.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yet Tural Ja was born all the same, with the head of Resolve's features and the head of Reason's scales. An extraordinary example of life's unyielding resilience.
So even though he only has one head, he has traits from both of his father's aspects? Huh.
And a warrior's reticence. He says little, but the way he moves... I know a hardened soldier when I see one.
He's a natural swordsman. A gift he inherited from his father. Some even say that the son has already surpassed the sire.
Oh, poor Wuk Lamat, she really had a lot to measure up
Should
to,
he come to
huh?
power, the first promise means to employ that martial prowess in the conquest of foreign lands. For this, he and his supporters have been labeled expansionists. This puts him in direct opposition to Wuk Lamat, who advocates for the preservation of peace. You may recall that she spoke of a claimant who cannot be allowed to rule. That is Gulool Ja Ja, the warmonger.
Oh, so she doesn't even care about Gulool Ja Ja. She doesn't want a conquest expansion.
Cryle, are you alright?
The echo. It gave me a glimpse into Gulool Ja's ambitions.
Is Kryle's like special version of the echo, like, or special trait of the echo, that she can like see in? I mean, it could be that she had a memory flash, right? But they have defined that there are unique echoes, and does she maybe, are they trying to like establish that more for her, that maybe she can see into the like truths in people's hearts or something?
Deep and unknowable, like an abyss. Yet at the same time, a roaring, unquenchable fire. It was a trifle terrifying, to be frank.
Oh ho ho. But we didn't experience it, so it must be Kryle's unique, kind of. And then we have the warfaring one, the combatant, and then we have the nerdy one.
Promise, you must bring us more marvelous conveniences. More dirigibles and trains and the like. We need you in charge to make trading easier.
The elders, they complain and complain about abandoning tradition. But we're not like them, afraid of everything foreign and new.
You have our wholehearted support. With your ingenuity and knowledge, you're sure to win the contest.
Forgive me, but the rites of succession is barely begun. I will hear your petitions if and when I am named Dawn Servant.
Practical, logical, reserved.
If you will excuse me.
Give us our queen for the people, by the people!
Plain spoken, as always.
That's Arcona. Practical to a fault.
But is anybody gonna
Here
go
we
up
have
to
Kona,
Wuk Lamat?
the second promise, who spent time as a pupil at Sharlian's own studium.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see him in the halls once or twice. There was nothing to suggest he was Turali, much less from a royal family.
That was by design. He forwent his usual garb and took an Eorzean name to avoid attention.
So it was Kona who introduced the dirigibles. And the railway too, given what we just heard.
In furtherance of his goal, to enrich Tuliolal with every bright notion he learned of in Sharlian. He is the hope of those who prize innovation. As aloof as he may seem, Kona and Wuk Lamat actually get along rather well. They bicker and banter as only close siblings do.
Or like you two. This guy! These guys!
Gracious of you all to cheer the lesser claimants.
You leave them alone. You leave them alone. No bully.
Oh, come now. What are you afraid of? I'm no different from your Dawn servant. That my kind should reign is Gulool Ja tradition, and has been so since before there was a Tuliolal.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that was like the
Brush
right
aside
way.
your feeble contenders. and then you'll see who deserves your fealty. Well said, brother.
I don't like the mystic head. He just has like a kind of sleazy, skeezy vibe to him. I don't trust him, he's slimy.
The Mamulja have finally found peace in Tural. A pity those fanatics are intent on keeping that tradition alive.
The chosen of Mamuk, Gulool Ja Ja, winner of the recent martial tournament, and the only claimant not of the Dawn's promise. His strength is undeniable, but you see how he is. A few devoted Mamulja are his only supporters.
People are just like beginning to leave, but
What would he
Wuk
do
Lamat
with
hasn't
the
even
throne
come
should he
out.
His policies and so forth. I doubt he's thought much beyond winning the contest itself. But one thing seems certain. If he does become Dawn Servant, he will see the Mamulja exalted as the ruling class, and all others forced into subservience.
We don't like that. We don't like racial supremacy. It's a bad look.
Sounds like another that cannot be allowed to rule.
Stop, no, stop. No! No, Wuk Lamat is so good! Well, now they are just making me cheer for her with everything that I have, every fiber of my being. I love an underdog or an undercat in this regard. And she's so personable and friendly and has the good... she cares about the people.
We wish for one thing and one thing only, third promise. To abide together in harmony with our neighbors whom we love in this land we share. It is our way, the Turali way.
Gulool Ja Ja built for us this peaceful nation, and we beg you to preserve it.
Good, she has some
You have
supporters.
my word. I won't let your pleas go unanswered.
Until Tural was founded some 80 years ago, this continent was ravaged by war. The eldest among us remember that dark era, and they are Wuk Lamat's most ardent supporters.
The old people like Wuk Lamat. Old folks for Wuk Lamat.
Apologies, it's hard to get away. This is Namika, my childhood nursemaid. She's been like a mother to me my whole life. I told her it wasn't necessary, but she insisted on seeing us off.
Wuk Lamat is just like so good-hearted and wonderful.
I place our precious third promise into your care. Did you know Wuk Lamat was taking part in the rite of succession?
Don't you be rude. Don't you gossip about my girl.
Promise. I thought it was only Zoralja and Kona. If she has any accomplishments to her name, I've yet to hear them.
You just wait. Just you wait!
Compared to the two Mamulja, she pales in martial prowess. And then there's Kona, who's far and away the most educated of the bunch. I hate to say it, but it's hardly a competition.
This is so mean! Everybody's
It's
so mean!
fine. More than anyone, I understand how much better my brothers are than me.
They are not better than you. You are different from them. And what you have, they lack. You have a real connection with other people. And you understand and value what it means to be able to work together, which is the greatest strength. She's so good.
Better? Wuk Lamat. I have never thought of you as the lesser sibling. Your brothers may excel in their respective ways, but you boast qualities that both lack. A strength that is yours alone.
That's right, she do.
Having cared for you for so long, I should know.
Thank you, Namika. Well, we ought to be on our way.
Does anybody else just want to, like, boop Wuk Lamat's snoot? It's probably, like, really, really poor etiquette to do that to a Hrothgar, and I feel like a Femhroth would just, like, bite your hand off, but, like, maybe, though, they would like it. I think Wuk Lamat would laugh. I think she'd have fun. Her snoot looks so boopable is the thing.
Yes, hurry along. I await word of your victory with bated breath.
Bye, Mom! Again, so pure, so good. She's such a sweetheart. Oh-ho? Is that it? Okay. Aaronville says, as you just witnessed, Wuk Lamat has no great army of supporters. Not yet, at least. But she gonna when we're done with this expansion. I know not what drives Tural Ja, but it engulfs him like an inferno. That two-headed claimant, Gulool Ja Ja, treats everyone around him as lesser beings. No doubt he'd try to elevate the Mamul Ja above the races should he become Dawn Servant, not unlike how the Garlean Empire afforded special status to pureblood Garleans. Arbert's just coming back from, like, he's been pulling a couple all-nighters. Dawntrail came out. He's been just mainstreaming Mountain Dew since the promotion began. He's ready. He's here. He's gonna save Tural with the help of Tural's people. But boy, if he has not slept for 5 days and has yet to shave. What a look. So, Kona, the second promise, is intent on developing his country by means of Sharlayan innovations. Given his background, I suppose it should come as no surprise. Well, so much for the brief reunion I had in mind. Papa is not one to waste time when he decides to act. I'm used to it by now, of course, but others are often caught off guard. In any case, we should talk about how we're going to find the City of Gold. All we have to work with are the 7 tablets and their connection to the Tuliolal saga. Might I suggest first comparing the tablets against the pillars? We could check for any discrepancies between them. Good idea! Let's go and take a look. Yeah, maybe like Papa. I'm just gonna call him Papa from here on out. Maybe Papa put something else in the glyphs on the tablets, so let's go see. Oh gosh, I thought there was a staircase there, but because of the angle of my camera for a second, I really thought I was about to just yeet myself off of a cliff. Oh, the houses are so cute. Everything is so good in this city. I love it. This way. You know, I'm still kind of on the fence about whether or not I love the music in Tuliolal. I do not hate it. I can say that much. By themselves, I really like either pieces of music, just independent of anything with the city. Except for that weird piano clash that happens there. I could do without that. But I can't help but kind of wish that we got something here that was much more I don't know, felt like a direct kind of reflection of the cultural mix. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll keep growing on me. I don't dislike it. I've been singing it since I logged in, so maybe that goes to show something as well. All right, we're here. We're ready. We're gonna take a look at these stone pillars again. Let's see. The preparation of intricately carved tablets for every claimant must have taken considerable effort and forethought. We should consider them weighty reminders that this contest is no light-hearted matter, excuse me. At a glance they seem much the same. That makes everyone. Wuk Lamat, the tablets if you would. Of course! Let's see if there are any secrets hidden in these tablets. I love a good riddle. It reminds me a little bit of like point and click adventures or something where you're having to kind of go through and be like, do you notice anything? Is there anything here? What about that thing that we found? What about this? Everyone has a tablet. Then let's compare them to the respective pillars. Keep an eye out for even the smallest differences. As we all get some nice, beautiful pans of the statues, their details. Aaronville's a smart boy. He might notice something. What did you all see? Unless I'm missing something, the glyphs appear to be identical. The only difference being that the tablets have hollows where the keystones are to be fitted. So now that we've established that the scenes are the same, where do we go from here? The Dawn Servant said we were to retrace the path he walked in uniting Tural's peoples, and that we would encounter 7 electors along the way. Oh, I bet you they're the figures that are in the tablets, right? Like the ones that he originally made peace with? Depending on their lifespans and or the peoples themselves, right? Then we have the answer here in front of us. Papa's path is all laid out in the Tural saga. The events the glyphs portray, do we know the exact locations where they took place? If one is close, we could go there and search for an elector. That would confirm we're on the right track. Let me think. The Lay of Reeds was in the nearby Hanuhanu settlement. Papa took me there once. It was during festival season and the whole village was alive with good cheer. There's also the Lay of Gold. That one involved the Pelupelu village, which is about the same distance from here. Man, I cannot get over how good Aaronville's skin texture and everything looks with the graphical update. Every time it goes to me, I'm like, okay, all right. I'm so happy. I'm so glad that they particularly paid attention to darker skin tones. Because for so long, that has always been a problem with the lighting in the game and other stuff, and in many MMOs it's a problem, so it looks so much nicer. Before going anywhere, we should ask around about the road ahead. I heard a lot of talk as we toured the city about the storm we passed through at sea. Apparently, it ravaged Tural several days ago. Since our roads are not as well paved as Eorzea's, they're more susceptible to damage from natural disasters. If we want to avoid wasting time taking a dead-end trail, I suggest we spend a few moments making inquiries. If it's information we need, just leave it to me. I'll bring the information to us. Initiative and enthusiasm. I love it. It would be prudent to ensure we're prepared for the journey. I'll guide you to the accommodations I've arranged. The thing is that I feel like Wuk Lamat, initiative and enthusiasm are like honestly 2 of the most powerful things that you can ever have as a person. If you have those things, you can learn skills, even if it takes you longer. You can accomplish things that other people wouldn't even like begin to do. And you can get other people kind of caught up in what you're trying to do in such a way that that enthusiasm is contagious, right? And I feel like she has the potential when she comes into her own to really, you know, be able to make more measured decisions. She knows when to consult other people, when to rely on their knowledge, how to make a friend of everyone, right? I feel like she has a lot of potential, even if right now she's still unsure. All right, here we are at the docks. Oh, such lovely little cottages. And they're on the water. Oh, is this the inn room? I am having this inkling. Alphino has become a cat girl. It was the wild transformation. Big twist in the plot here. What a comfort to have our lodging sorted in advance. Wuk Lamat said she would bring the information to us. I wonder what she meant by that. Welcome to Forad Cabins. Alright. Can I just take 1 second? Sorry, this is like before we talk to Aaronville here. I just want to take 1 second because I've heard some like through the grapevine discussion from people about how they hated the accents in this expansion from the voice actors. And I just have to take a second because between our last PlayStation and this one, this is when I heard this. Everybody realizes that they cast Latin American voice actors for Dawntrail, right? Like, they're not fake accents. There may be some in the mix that are, I don't know, but insofar as I know, all of the main cast, they really did try to, for the English version at least, bring on voice actors that were from the regions that culturally inspired the game. So just a little heads up that like, those are just their accents. Because I heard some discussion about this and I was like, what? So yeah, that's a thing. Just like that's a thing. All right, let's talk to Aaronville. That's right. The reservation is under Wuk Lamat's name. If you don't mind, I'll leave my companions to you. Certainly, sir. I'll go and track down the third promise. Once you've finished organizing your gear, you can meet us outside Zabalia of Tie. Does he get an outfit change? I would love to see him get an outfit change so that he's not just hauling around his gleaner stuff all the time. He's cute in it and I love his gleaner mode. But it'd be fun to see him kind of, I don't know, like step outside of that role now that he's back in his homeland. Greetings, visitors to Tural, and welcome to the Forad Cabins. Whenever you are ready, I'll show you to your rooms. Take us to the inn room. I'm curious. Okay, well, I might have seen perhaps a little screenshot of what the inn room looks like, and I can't wait to see it for myself because apparently they did something different with it this time. So we're gonna peek in really fast. Oh, let's ask about it first. The Forad cabins were built some years ago to better accommodate our visitors from across the salt. In the early days of Tural, the guest rooms were little more than rickety boats moored to the pier. They were unpopular with travelers, to say the least. But the steady influx of trading ships necessitated the construction of our more modern facilities. One of Gulool Ja Ja's own companions was himself a visitor from abroad. It is said he likened the newly built roofs to a line of ships' prows, and the interiors to orderly cabins. Thus have they been named ever since. These days, we pride ourselves on running the finest accommodations in the city. I am confident you shall find everything to your liking. Okay, let's go see. The forward cabins. Wooden door. Oh! There it is! Oh, that's so pretty! See, look, this is the thing. If we had instanced housing in Final Fantasy XIV, you could literally just have a house like this that you could decorate on the beach and you could like go down into the water or go swimming or... Oh, that's so pretty though. I love that it looks out over the water. It's so breezy. The furniture and stuff over here is so pretty. Oh my gosh. This might be like my favorite inn room now. This big area where you can all eat together too. This is so cute. When are we gonna get all these furnishing items and the wall textures and everything? Really pretty. That's cool. I wonder if they'll do some interiors, because they were talking about, like, creating some additional interiors for houses, and I wonder if they would ever do something like this, where when you load it into the house, even if it wasn't totally apparent from the outside, but, like, I would break that immersion to have something like an interior that allowed you a genuine beach view. People create stuff like this using the in-game items, which I still think is really cool. But it's not quite the same as being able to just, like, walk out onto, like, a big balcony where there really is, like, a fully realized environment out there, so. Cool. This is beautiful. I love this. All the colors are gorgeous, all the textures. Watch me, like, leave, and then they're like, you needed to rest in the inn room. No, we're good. They were just introducing us to where the inn room was. Okay, onwards we go. I also just love how different the city looks in different weather conditions. Like the fog versus this really bright, sunny, summery day. Oh, this person like pulling the cart through the city. Ah! I spy a Dr. Griswold! Oh! That's such a cute glare. Hello. Thank you for that art tour again. Becoming an immersive part of the environment. Await your companions and embark on the rite of succession. Well, don't mind if I do. Shall we see where the New Horizon takes us? I want to get to like the first open world zone. I'm so ready. I want to see the map. I want to see like where we're going first. Also, while I'm still not completely sold on it, Ardent's change is, I am acclimating to it more. And I think in the cutscenes too, it feels very much like the different lighting and stuff there even makes some of the stuff that like out in the open world seems really jarring, look a little bit more kind of like it used to. I still hope they keep tweaking some of the faces a bit because I think they lost some of the personality in a few of them, but others look like way, way, way better, so. Okay, Alice. Trust you to be the keenest to head out, Arden. But where are Erinville and Wuk Lamat, I wonder? Friends! Oh, good, you're all here. Who might your companions be? Oh, is this like a split where you can like pick one or the other? They've been doing, I mean, they do this with a lot of the recent expansions to help with the flow of traffic. Seeing as we needed information, I thought who better to get it from than the locals. These two hail from the villages we're thinking to visit. I give you credit for taking initiative, at least. What do you mean, at least? I am honored that the Third Promise would seek my advice. I, too, am happy to answer your questions. Any encounter might be an opportunity to do business. Thank you both for your help. Ah, before we begin, there will doubtless be other occasions when we need to act independently, so I brought these for the two of you. Link Pearl fam! You wanna join our Link Shawl? Erinville and Wuk Lamat, you wanna be friendos for real? You wanna join our friend lists? Our contact lists? What's this? 'Tis called a Link Pearl, a gemstone harvested from a special shell. Have we had that lore in-game before? Maybe it's something that everybody just knew, but I didn't realize that it was, like, specifically a gemstone. That's why it might be, like, a pearl that is, like, formed from shells, or, like, formed in shells. And that might be why it's called Link Shells! Maybe not, I don't know. When linked together, they allow people to communicate across great distances. Is that so? What a handy thing to have! It'll be very useful on our own travels. Speaking of which, I should get back to introducing my two new friends here. Helpful Hanu. Please ask anything. I'll gladly tell you what I know. What a stroke of luck to forge this connection to the palace. May it be the beginning of a profitable partnership. Wuk Lamat may not be as experienced or accomplished as her brothers, but she has an affinity for the people. For her, finding those willing to cooperate is as simple as asking. You know what? Can I honestly just say that in our current political climate in the United States, I support and prefer somebody who is like genuine, open, willing to listen and connect to others. That's about building community, not like causing major, like huge divisions in it. You know what? I like Wuk Lamat's energy and youthfulness. She's not 1,000 years old. Which I also think could be a pretty important thing for possible leaders that we just, you know, we just don't get. Is there a reason the Pelupelu all wear those masks? Even up close, the Hanu are remarkably similar to the Vanu. Aside from those brilliant feathers, of course. Who should we speak to first, do you think? The Tural saga features a number of Tural's clans. Two of those, the Hanuhanu and the Pelupelu, have settlements relatively close to the city, so I brought a representative of each. As I mentioned before, the Hanu are a cheerful people who love their festivals. They make their appearance in the Lay of Reeds, and their home village, Okanu, is located in Kozamauka. The other, smaller fellow, is one of the Pelu, a clan of business-minded folk from Urqopacha. They appear in the Lay of Gold and craft all kinds of marvelous goods in Wanchun Pelo, their village. Now, as for deciding which village to visit first, why don't you put that adventurer's instinct of yours to work for us, Arden? Pick our destination. Yeah, it is our branching quest. All right. Who are we gonna pick first? The thing is that I love bird people, but I also really want to know more about the Pelupelu. I think I'm gonna go for the approachable Pelu. Who did you all pick first? I mean, we'll do both. But I think I'm gonna go Pelu first. Yes, okay. We're committing. We're going for it. We're showing initiative and excitement, enthusiasm. What is it you'd like to know? Our main concern was confirming the state of the road ahead. As I recall, to reach Urqopacha, we depart from the Arc of the Dawn, then take the road west at the first fork. Should we be wary of anything along the way? That is indeed the way to Urqopacha. After the damage wrought by the recent downpour, however, you'll be doing more stumbling than walking. But do take heart. When it comes to rugged terrain, we have a most dependable solution available. Come with me. We'll be back to talk to you in good time, friend Hanu. Meanwhile, you can eat and drink your fill at Zabalyav. It's all been arranged. Have some food, we'll be back! Preen your feathers! Do you think they communally preen one another? You know, just little things I want to know about. So, I can order anything I like at Zabalyav? Anything? Oh, the third promise is too generous. Okay. Let's go to Urqopacha. I'm also definitely not just like super obsessed with everything about Urqopacha and the giants and like, I just want to know. But we're gonna go there first. So we'll pick this as our first zone. We need to head to the west gate, it looks like. Oh, there's a blue quest over here. I've heard that a lot of the side quests in the city are really good. We're gonna pick up this quest from the Wing of Protection Scout because maybe it's possible that it's an Aether Current or something, although usually I think those are in the zones themselves, but just in case it unlocks something. You there. You are ardent open, are you not? The adventurer from across the water has been lending the third promise her strength. Then well met! To tell the truth, I have been meaning to make your acquaintance for some time. I have a proposition for you. You are familiar with the Eorzean hunts, yes? We have something very similar here in Tural, and having heard much of your philanthropic spirit, not to mention your capacity for violence, we should very much like to recruit you to our cause. If you are interested, speak with my associate Bolagua. The Zerbral is master of the hunt and administers to the bills in the square overlooking the port. Tell him the Wing of Protection recommends you. Thank you! Okay, so that's our hunt unlock. Now, I'm going to go ahead and continue on so that we can unlock the next zone, but we will come back and do some of the side quests, because there's a Corn of Necessity. Is that where you get the corn minion? Okay, we're going to come back and we're going to do the quests in the city, but let's get a peek at our next zone here if we can. So we'll run our way up here to Urqopacha. You know, honestly, I've really enjoyed the start of the expansion so far. It's hard to follow up having something like a 10-year story arc, having this, you know, coming from the end of all these revelations, all this lore, all this stuff that had been expanded upon, to now starting fresh and kind of rebuilding. But in a way, I actually find that really refreshing to just be adventurers again who are learning about a place, a people, a culture, who are seeing things that we haven't seen before or heard much about, who are meeting people and getting to know them and to learn more about their plights or the just general kind of atmosphere of the place. The world building of 14 is some of my absolute favorite parts of the game. And like, I love the big reveals and the layered histories and the nuanced characters and the emotional writing. But I do think that there comes a point where we have to reset and we have to just kind of realize that in an MMO, we're kind of taking adventures, we're exploring places that we would... I mean, we can't explore places like this in real life, but the fantasy element and everything else is different, and a different level. So I like that we're back to kind of being an adventurer and that the big scales and stakes, I'm sure they'll continue to unfold over the course of the future expansions, but this X-Pack was always going to be a bit of a reset, no matter what, right? With how they wanted to structure this and wrap up the Heidel and Zodiac stuff, so... Okay. It's llama time! Alpaca time, I should say! Talking to Pelupelu before we departed was a wise decision. I, for one, would rather not brave a treacherous, slippery trail on foot. The beasts are sure-footed, that's for certain. The Pelupelu, all being small, is confusing enough, but those masks make it almost impossible to tell men from women, let alone guess at their age. I mean, great, we love that. Just a non-binary masked society. Let's go. Gender ambiguous. Small, delightful people. I know a few of those in real life. Oh my! Oh, these fluffy babies are mounts. I'm waiting for Kryl to just get, like, kicked by one, like, punted. Ugh, why did it have to be alpacas? Okay, the approachable Pelu. May I introduce you to our most dependable companion, the alpaca. They're fluffy. These animals can traverse Urqopacha's steep mountain trails as if they were gentle fields, and all while carrying the heavy loads. Our merchants would be lost without them. So they fill much the same niche as our chocobos back home. You don't have alpacas in Eorzea? Alpacas are native to Tural. Eorzea has its chocobos, and the eastern lands have their horses. Why go to the trouble of breeding another pack beast in a place which ill suits its qualities and where it is not needed anyway? But must we ride these little monsters? I get the impression you aren't fond of alpacas. When I was small, and being a bit naughty, I went around pulling on their wool. One of them spat on me, and it was the foulest stench you can imagine. I see. What do they like to ride? Alpacas bred as mount are inquisitive and docile. Even those without experience find them easy to handle. I like that Aaronville is using that, like, beast acquisition gleaner knowledge. We are really doing this then. So, was my information useful to you? Yes, very helpful. Even if it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Good, I'll take my payment now. You want me to pay you? I guess I should have expected as much from a Pelu merchant. Let me see what I have on me. The Pelupelu value the act of spreading joy through trade. As you should know, they take pride in making deals that benefit both parties. They would really get along with, what is it? Of course, here we go. This is where my brain's gonna drop a piece of information. The Fae folk on the first that have the crab ears. You know what I'm talking about. You all know what I'm talking about. Who also have that kind of deal-based sort of exchange. Here you go. A fair price for your fair advice. Yes, I made a trade with the third promise herself. Ha! My friends will never believe this. I shall be on my way now. I wish you safe travels. Off you go then, and thank you. The graphical texture is so fluffy! I better not get spit on again. You brought that on yourself. Remain calm and gentle, and so will they. I'm still not happy about this, but if we need to ride alpacas to reach Urqopacha, then that's what we'll do. That is indeed what we'll do. Let's get to it. They are the... It's gonna get me. And you know there's the one that's in the story that's in the dungeon. Everybody in the comments are gonna be like, Rook, it's blank, it's blank, blank, Rook.
Of yore sang of a mountain that would stand tall, even should all other lands sink beneath the sea.
Oh, the music here is so good.
And eternal. It arises from Urqopacha.
The mountain!
The 100 peaks of time.
The 100 peaks of time?
Of all the beasts which crawl and fly, only the legendary Valigarmanda could hope to disturb the summit's serene majesty. Yet, with that flying calamity imprisoned by the Dawn Serpent,
so beautiful.
What great feat remains for those who would claim the throne?
Oh, I love this! See, this is like a landscape we haven't had before versus a lot of the deserts and things. Like, this has some desertous aspects, but it has that mountain climate, the flat sort of tiers of land, the mountains.
I've never actually been here before.
The air is so crisp and clear.
Mountains everywhere you look.
That one massive peak in particular has quite the presence. It puts me in mind of Som-Al.
It's interesting that it's all kind of, I mean, it's a mountain, so it's probably high elevation and you might get snow. But because we saw in some of the live letter stuff for the preview stuff that Valigarmanda is frozen in ice, I wonder if it has that, like, particularly icy quality because of some kind of magic there. And from what I've heard, I think it's 4 that Valigarmanda is from. And I believe it's the same way that you encounter Valagarmonda in 4, that like they're frozen in ice. Their name is supposedly like a combination, possibly, it's kind of ambiguous, a combination of several different mythological creatures that has been kind of all wrapped into one. And I think that it uses different elements because of that. But 4, from what I've heard, I think you are introduced to them. I need to play it, I know, but you're introduced to the creature and it's like frozen in ice in a similar way. So I wonder if Valagarmonda, I think, is imprisoned there, if that has some kind of role in why the mountain seems so mysterious, icy, or kind of shrouded.
That is Worqopacha, the tallest mountain in Tural. Its sheer height makes it an imposing climb. But there are other reasons the ambitious keep their distance.
Oh, do tell.
Where to begin?
Excuse me, but you're Wuk Lamat, are you not? I hadn't thought to encounter one of the Dawn's promise here, of all places.
Ooh, another Hrothgar!
But I should introduce myself. I am Bol Nok, a weaver by trade.
Well met, Bolnok. We're on our way to Urqopacha.
I just love her energy.
Oh, truly. I've just come from there, as it happens. I'd asked the Pelupelu who sell me their wool to give me a tour of their alpaca ranch. The head rancher and I shared a bottle of mezcal while he explained the finer points of wool production.
Okay, so tequila's a thing here too. That's good. Bunch bad.
Mezcal. Is that a local beverage?
Look, I didn't party that hard in college, but the few times that things did get a little wild, tequila's almost always involved, so, you know, drink responsibly, everybody. Take care of yourselves, don't drink too much. Drink water, it's all important.
It's an Urqopacha specialty. A spirit made from distilled agave heart juice.
I wonder if they'll like show you production
and it must have done wonders for my mood, for I tripled my usual order of alpaca wool. They did offer me a discount though, so it wasn't a bad deal in the end.
Sneaky Pelupelu. Gonna get people drunk and make deals.
But listen to me, boring you with my tedious stories. I will leave you before you are lulled to sleep. Goodbye, and safe travels.
Yeah, what do you actually want to talk about? Go on.
Silly me. I almost forgot to say the thing I actually wanted to say. Peace for Tural. I agree with your vision, Third Promise. You have my support in your bid for the throne.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I gather from his tale we would be foolish to underestimate Pelupelu merchants.
Yeah, let's all just pray that Estinian doesn't come over here to where the Pelupelu are, because that man will not have any clothes on. He will have sold every belonging he's ever had. He will have no more money. He will, like, it'll be over. It'll be over. So nobody let him come here.
Yes, they do more than run the markets in Tuliyollal. Pelupelu peddlers can be found everywhere in Tural, traveling from place to place on their sturdy alpacas. They are effusive and engaging speakers, and many's the customer who's been talked into spending more than they bargained for.
They won't find this customer so easily charmed.
Urqopacha's down the path! Off the main road! Don't get lost!
It's right there.
Wuk Lamat and I have a lot in common. We both are easily distracted, very enthusiastic, and get lost all the time. You know, we share a bond in that way.